Hey guys, Veebat here with another V Plays, and we're taking a look at the BF-109G, the Gustav. So, I finished grinding the BF-109 line a very long time ago, but the BF-109, while I didn't appreciate it while I was grinding it, because I was just in BF-109s for so long, the aircraft itself is a very solid performer. Now, it's not groundbreaking. It's not going to be anything that's overpowered, devastating, battlefield type of an aircraft, but it is solid. And it kind of takes the best of both worlds. I mean, it gets the fire chance that you would get with the Mustang line with these dual 13mm with a high rate of fire. And you're also getting the good solid oomph of a high burst damage capability, similar to what you would find with the I-220 Russian altitude fighter. Additionally, it sports really good altitude performance, really good top end speed, great climb performance, and has the ability to just tear aircraft apart like you just saw there. We were able to damage that first aircraft, and then the 13mm were able to get a fire chance, and we were able to burn up the airframe without even looking at it, because cool guys don't look at explosions, or cool gals. So its decent maneuverability will allow it to be able to take on air defense fighters just like any other altitude fighter, but with a 30mm hub gun that was buffed in, I want to say a recent patch, but it's more like it's been nearly 6 months, I think, since that patch came out. But they buffed the accuracy of the 108 30mm hub gun. Now, you can opt to go with half the damage with a 20 and with a little bit more reliability, but there's something really gratifying about getting that 30 to make contact, and the crit chance being so high makes it fairly devastating. And because you have good burst damage, you have the ability to go up and try and intercept bombers with a little bit more reliable results, because you can time these big guns to be able to make contact. As you can see here, there's a couple of big chunks getting knocked off, but I can't attribute all the damage to me because I do have an ally flying right next to me on my wingtip and the P-47. So thanks to that guy for giving me a hand. And now we're in a head-on with a 109. Never a good idea to head-on a 109. There's just too much damage output for that aircraft, as our brethren just found out there, but we were able to trid him away pretty quickly because we do have the better maneuverability compared to any of the multi-rolls, and we also have decent firepower to be able to take out some of those hit points. We do see this mosquito injured flying into our spider web here, and we're able to knock him out. And then diving on this target, we're catching him totally unaware, and we're able to get some good solid hits on him. Come on, sync it up. Letting the machine gun sing with my alternate fire button, and then letting the 30s make contact. Now I have a heavy on my tail, and you'll note that I'm putting the ground between me and his path of travel, because I'm putting him in a situation where he has to choose whether or not he wants to keep shooting me and risk running into the ground, or if he wants to break off and engage another aircraft or re-engage my aircraft, with buying me time. I would have stayed on the 410, but that specialized XP-55 is a very dangerous threat, so I figured I'd take him out while he isn't paying attention. Getting a few good hits here, and we were able to flip the zone by taking out another key aircraft. There is still the 410 flying around somewhere. There's another 109. Again, not heeding my own advice, we got into a head-on with an aircraft that has the same firepower as an ME-410. But he didn't kill us, and we were able to take him out just like we did the last 109 we were engaging. We do have an aircraft overhead. It is a heavy fighter yet again, but he isn't looking at me, thankfully. And while I did think I was going to chase him down, I remembered I have not regen my health, and his tail gunner would have made very short work of me. So let's not put ourselves in a situation where we need saving, because good friends don't put themselves in situations where they're begging for someone to come save them. You just don't get into that situation if you can avoid it. Now we're going to come through here and do a bit of sweep and clear as we continue to maintain this zone, and we're just getting assist after assist here. There isn't much in the way of aircraft to engage right now, so I do decide I'm going to put some effort into going after this 410 that's been a bit of a thorn in my side. We get a few good hits on him. We come back around, trying to find the sweet spot with that 30. We took out his wing, which means he's lost a lot of his roll rate, so he's not going to be getting too squirrely with his maneuvers here. Letting that 30 cool down to maintain the accuracy, and getting him before he kills our ally. Yes, we got him. There is an LA-9 down here. We did just pick up grade 3 fighter at this point. And we're going to double back on the LA-15 because Levechkins can be quite dangerous aircraft if you underestimate them. So we get a few good hits on him, and then our LA-5 manages to kill him. So, oh well. We'll work our way over towards these multi-rolls as they are teasing at the edge of our zone. And this time I've learned my lesson, getting into a bit of a roll. And we avoid most of the incoming fire while still closing on the 109. And now we're going to come in behind them again, and we're going to engage with our 30. Trying to get the 30 to hit can be a little bit troublesome, but it's a lot more forgiving on a platform like this than it would be on like a 262 or a BF-109Z. For those of you that have flown those aircraft, you know it's kind of an all or nothing because it's all 30s, and if you're missing with one, you're typically missing with all 4. With this, at least you still have a 30 and or 2 13s, and the 2 13s are able to get some good damage in. The 30 is just that big chunk of damage that you can get when you close on the target, and you can actually maintain chase a lot better with this due to the maneuverability and speed combination opposed to being in a pure heavy fighter. Not to say that those aircraft can't be dangerous, but 30s are some of the most temperamental guns in the game, and once you start to figure them out, they can be really rewarding, but until you do, they can be quite a pain. We just picked up grade 2, so I'm pretty happy about that. I was ignoring that Corsair, but he's just put himself right in front of my guns. I wish I could have picked up the kill. The LA-5 is not looking at me. He's going into his death roll to try and save himself, but we just took his tail, which puts him in a situation where he's definitely going to get knocked out. The enemy team has actually picked up both command centers at this point, so we are not necessarily in danger right now, but it is something to keep an eye on. Squall line's about to hit in the next 2 seconds, and now we're in squall, so every kill is a perma-kill. One of the bombers just got taken out on the enemy team, which is going to help us out a little bit if this game drags on, but there isn't much time left at this point, and unfortunately we just lost our P-38J specialist human player. So I'm going to come down here and try and help our P-47 Bravo that we had helping us earlier, because he is engaging the P-40. You saw me maneuver my aircraft there. The reason I maneuvered my aircraft is I saw the reticle at the bottom that said you're going to be taking AA fire, and I'm already on pretty low health, so it wasn't worth the risk of getting knocked out by that flak. We did manage to get the P-40, however, that was chasing our P-47 to break off the air defense fighter. Locking in on the tail of this aircraft, the fire doing good DOT there, and now taking out this P-40 with our bot's assistance here. It allows us to be able to get back the command center, not that we really need it for capture purposes for other zones, but it was enough to be able to keep the ticker going and prevent the enemy from getting air supremacy. We did pick up the Akamatsu medal and 13,000 personal points, a very respectable game for an aircraft that currently only has 1 skill point that's actually allocated. Let's go back to the hangar and talk a little bit more about this aircraft and the performance in this battle in particular. So, not too shabby, a pretty good performance for this aircraft. Like I was saying, it's a solid airframe. It's not necessarily earth-shattering, it's not going to break the mold in any particular way, but it is definitely a strong performer as far as altitude fighters go, and it has a nice mix of both worlds with the damage output, as well as maintaining the same type of altitude and speed characteristics that we're used to with an altitude fighter. For this particular battle, we were able to rack up a total of 15 kills, 5 of which were air defense aircraft, and we were also able to take out 5 multi-rolls, 2 fighters, 2 heavy fighters, and a single bomber, while getting quite a bit of assist damage out there, because we did assist in destroying an additional 5 aircraft, doing a total amount of damage to aerial targets of 3,700 in a Tier 7 aircraft. Not bad at all. Quite a few critical hits, and that's the advantage of having that 30mm cannon in the hub. And even though we talked about it, we'll take another look at it here. It has the two 13mm machine guns, pumping out about 49 damage a second per each, with a very high rate of fire of 700 rounds per minute, which gives you a much higher chance to proc fire chance if it works per bullet. Not 100% sure on the reality of that. And then for the autocannons, you're looking at 180 damage per second, and this is going to be the same gun you'd find on your BF-109Z, the same cannon you get with the 262, the 183, and a multitude of other platforms that sport a similar gun configuration. I think even the 329 has 108s as well, and maybe the stock version of the 1099. Anyways, it is just another BF-109, but I do like that they buffed the accuracy in a recent patch. When I was grinding this line, I mean, you are grinding 1, 2, 3, 4, and arguably 5 BF-109s. Similar flight characteristics, similar role in battle, all altitude fighters, in very similar appearance, and after a while you just feel like you're in this perpetual state of deja vu because you're looking at the same tail configuration and you're flying the aircraft in the same way all the way through to tier 9. Not super exciting. At least with the American line, you get a little bit of variance as you work your way up. Same thing with the Russian line, but I can't argue that the BF-109 airframe isn't a solid performer in this game and a solid performer in general. So as a result, even though it gets a little bit boring and tedious on the grind, now that I'm done with the grind, I realized that I did like flying the BF-109, so I purchased back the 109G during the March of Nations since it was at a discount. So again, BF-109, for those of you that are grinding the line, take a moment, maybe appreciate what you got, and for those of you that are sick of the grind, take a break. Take a break, grind something else for a little bit, because if you're not having fun, what's the point? And eventually you will remember the good times of flying the 109, and you may go back and repurchase your 109G, just like I did. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.